beautiful, beautiful souls. Gosh, it's so good to be back. I've literally been away in the beautiful bodroom for a week and I am back, bitches. I am back. And am I back with a freaking bang? Yes, that is for sure. So today we might get a little bit spicy. So everything that we are going to cover today is coming from an absolute place of love, and I feel like it's the kick up the booty that you freaking need, and we all need that. We all need sometimes that refresh, that kick up the booty, that someone that's calling you out and going, hello, what's going on here? So when you're joining live, say hello in the chat box so I can see you, and of course if you've watched this on the replay, please do put hashtag replay so I can see you. Now, you're saying to me, you want to create huge amounts of sales this month. You're saying to me, Tash, I want to blow the F up in my business this month. You're saying to me, this is going to be my biggest cash month ever. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm like, ooh, ooh. Did someone say, ooh, ooh, success is in the house? Yes, right? So badass. What I want to say to you is, consciously, your desires are on point, yes. Unconsciously, are you sabotaging them? And let's dive into it, because I'm just going to keep it real. There isn't a sales problem. It isn't a strategy problem. It isn't a time of the month problem. This isn't a season problem. This isn't a that people in my audience just don't buy. My audience isn't big enough. Like, this all isn't what it actually is. I promise you. And how do I know this? Because way before I had 10,000 followers, and I've only got 15,000 on Insta. Like, it's not huge amounts. TikTok, I've literally just started. I think I've got like 250 people. We're not talking huge amounts of numbers here, but it doesn't matter. And way before I was having 10,000 followers, I was making 10K months. So it's really important that you stop the stories and the narratives of, this is why I don't have the level of success I want. This is why this isn't working out for me. It's because people don't buy in summer. It's because people don't buy at December. It's because people don't buy at the beginning of the year. Well, if you're going to tell yourself these stories of when people don't buy, the people are not going to buy from you, because you're telling yourself the story. And the way what's going on in your subconscious mind is it's looking for the evidence. It wants to back this up. So it goes, see, that person said she was going to buy and then she didn't. See, I only had X amount of story views on Insta. I only had 2 people vote my poll. Like, whatever it is. You don't think you can make sales from small amounts of numbers? I've had clients that have under 1,000 followers on Instagram, under 500 followers on Instagram, having views around 10 to like 30 views. So not huge amounts of views, and sell out their launches. Like, it's stop telling yourself it's, I need to get more people, I need to get to a wider audience. Well, listen, that's not to say that that can't be a strategic thing we work on, for sure, but that isn't the reason why you're not making the sales that you want to do. But what's happening is you're telling yourself this story, you're living out in this narrative, this same narrative, yet you're wanting the big months. But it's like, well, you can't hold the limiting beliefs that are coming up for you now. What are you doing about them to actually change and navigate through this? So I really want you to look at, okay, what is my conscious desires? What am I saying to Tash, to myself, to my audience? What am I claiming that I want? And then where are my subconscious beliefs actually supporting or sabotaging them? Because that will be the game changer. When you actually look at, right, what my conscious desire is to get to 20K months, and unconsciously you're going, I only had 30 people view my stories. I've had the same people vote all the time. This feels really hard to get to 20K cash months. Like, I'm just barely making 10. Like, how am I going to get to 20? Like, if you're going to play in this narrative, how do you expect to be holding the big cash months? How do you expect to be selling out your launches and holding them and holding that cash? Not even just like, oh, well, Tash, I signed 4 clients, I made 20K, and then the next month you're freaking out because you're like, oh my God, I don't think I'm able to hit 20K again. Like, how did I do that? That must have been a fluke. It must have been lucky. Because then you can't hold this level of success, and this is all coming down to your subconscious beliefs. So trying to out hustle them, outwork them, trying to forget them, push them underneath the carpet, and just hope for the best that they go away, like, it's not going to happen. Your subconscious mind is always on. Like, you know, your subconscious mind does not sleep. That's why when for my clients we do like subconscious activations that they listen to at night. Why? Because your subconscious mind is still active, it's still open, it's still ready to receive. It's like the best, most potent way to kind of speak to it, right? So I want you to be thinking about, what are you consciously desiring, but yet subconsciously you're not actually supporting it. So it's like saying, It's like saying, okay, so let's say your child comes to you and they go, right, mum, I really want to move to Australia. And you're like, this is great. I'm so excited for you. Yes. And then they go away and then you're bawling your eyes because you're like, I didn't want this. I did not want them to move to Australia. So guess what? You don't book the ticket. You don't do the leaving party for them. Like, you don't support them, right? But yet behind, like, that's all behind the scenes. But in front, you're like, yeah, I'm so proud of you. Yay, Liz, to Australia. Right? And your child's going, yay, mum is so supportive. And yet behind the scenes, you're like self-sabotaging basically so that your child does not go to Australia. That's the same thing. And how do you expect that to work? It's not going to work. So instead of focusing on what is my strategy in order to scale my business, how am I going to double my income? What I would look at is what's actually going in your subconscious mind, because that is what's going to stop you. So I had a client come to me and she was like, Tash, listen, I'm at, she was around like 5-6K months and she wanted to get above the 10K mark. And she wanted to launch a group program. And I was like, okay, cool. I looked at the strategy she was working at the moment. And then we dived into her subconscious beliefs and she's like, Tash, I know that I can be making 15K cash months. Like, I know it. I have this conscious awareness that I know I can do this. I'll put the work in. Like, I just got to learn it and I'll implement it. But then when we actually looked at her subconscious beliefs, they were not knowing it. She wanted the 15K cash months, but really the belief behind it and how she was operating her day-to-day business when she was recording her collaborations, when she was recording content for this group program, when she was selling on Instagram, because she was showing up, she was selling all the Instagrams and the stories. But behind this was that niggling beliefs of, is this going to work? Can I really do this? And one belief that we shifted massively for her, which was, what if I'm the only person that gets to put all this work in and doesn't succeed? What if I'm always just going to stay stuck at this income that I'm at? And I'm like, okay, this is the reason we're not at the income. You think it's because of this. She thought that she needed a bigger audience on Instagram. She thought that she needed to do a group inside Facebook. Like, she thought all of these things consciously. And then when we actually got down to it, it was all about her subconscious belief that was blocking her from achieving this. So once we actually cleared this, and we worked together for 6 months, once we actually cleared this, and then we done the strategic stuff to actually map out what our group program is going to look like, do the launch, all that, she absolutely sold out. Absolutely. And now, like, you know, between 15 and 17K is like what she makes every single month. Like, that's her energetic minimum. And she's like, holy hell. And I'm like, this is what happens when you do the work on your subconscious beliefs. When you understand what's going on in, like, bubbling underneath the surface, it's kind of like, you know, the success picture, I'm sure you've all seen it, with the big mountain, the iceberg at the top, and you just see the little top, which is the success, and all the work that goes underneath. It's very much the same when it comes to the top part is your conscious part. I want to make 10K months. I want to sell out my launch. I want to have a top 10 podcast. I want to grow a really engaged audience so that when I post on Instagram, like, people sell like hotcakes, right? That's the conscious part of your brain. It's what goes on underneath that water is what creates the success. It isn't the amount of times you post. Like, I'm so freaking sick of hearing this. Like, oh, do I need to post more? Is that what it is? And I'm like, no, you need to work on your beliefs behind the posting, because the posting is just a waste of time because your energetics behind that is not supporting that. You're not like, this, I just have this knowingness that I'm about to blow off. I just know it's going to freaking happen. You have got to work on that belief system in order for your then conscious desires to be in alignment, to be an energetic match for what your subconscious thoughts and beliefs are, because they're stuck right now, and that's what we need to unstuck. And this is the reason why I created Conscious Coach, because what I was learning through the industry was so many people were selling business, so many people were saying this is the one strategy that you need, you only need to do this. I was hearing so much of this and I was like, but we're missing the energetics, because, you know, I see so many people doing all the things, I was doing all the things, and I wasn't getting the level of success that I thought I was going to be at. So there was definitely a missing gap, and I was like, right, what these badasses need isn't any more strategy, okay? And if that is what you need, and you're like, yeah, then that's a supplement to this. And that's why I do a VIP option in Conscious Coach, because you do the program, but then you also can get me one-on-one as a support, as your coach, as your mentor, your visionary. You know, someone to hold the space for your incredible big dreams and show you actually step-by-step strategy of how to implement that. So if that's something, then you can go for the VIP option. But it was so important that I felt like, when are people going to wake up and realize that it isn't the strategy that's going to create the success? Like, you speak to any successful person, they won't go, It was the strategy. They go, it's my belief in myself. I just know that I always get to win. I just believe in myself that when I go and do something, it's going to work out. I have resilience, I have tenacity, I have staying power. I don't just do one thing and expect it to absolutely blow off. And I don't actually blame the person that's thinking this way, because especially if you're new into business, so if any of you are newbies into business, you're being conditioned to think that you literally come out of the gate, post on social, and you're going to make 10k months. Like, literally, that's what you're conditioned with, because that's what so much bullshit on social media about. And it's not true. You have got to do the work, but more importantly, you've got to do the work on yourself. You have got to be an energetic match for the strategy, easy for me to say, the strategy that you are implementing. You have got to have that belief system behind it, because if you're doing the most incredible strategy and you know it works because your coach has done it, that your mentor's done it, the people in the group have done it, like they've got tons of testimonials of people going, yeah, this freaking works, yet it's not working for you, then how can it be strategy? It can't be. It's the energetics. It's the subconscious mind. And that's what you need to work on. And that is exactly why I created a 3-month intense program for you to have a deep dive, to rewire your programming, to rewire your subconscious mind for success. So your default is, of course I get to win. Like, of course, this launch maybe didn't go to plan. Well, it's because the next one, or the next one, or the next month, or the next week, or the next day. It's sitting in this energy of like, oh my goodness, like this could work, this could happen. What if this happens? What if this happens? Rather than, this isn't working. Oh my God, why am I not at 20k months? Why am I stuck at 10k months? Like, all of this bullshit we need to remove, clear. And all it is data that's around you. Your subconscious mind is soaking all that data in, and it's kind of getting disturbed and not bringing out the same input that what's actually going in. It's stuck. It's kind of like going through, like as if you're building sandcastles and water comes into it. It gets all cloggy and it doesn't go through the sieve, right? It's exactly like that. So we need to remove that, shift it, melt it away, clear it. We need to remove the emotion that's attached to it, the fear. What if I don't make 20k months? What if I fail? What if my audience think this, my family think this, or judgment? All of these emotions that are coming up, we need to clear, because this is what's keeping you blocked. So send me a DM with the word coach. Let's have a chat about where you are right now and where you want to get to, because you feel it. You know you're meant for more. You know that you could blow the F up. You know that you want to be creating the most incredible engaged audience, a community. You know that you want to be the freaking legend. You want to be the go-to expert. You want to be the person that was like, oh my God, you want that? You need to go to her. Wow, fire. You know you're meant for so much more. Then why are you playing it safe? Why are you playing it small? Why are you blaming the algorithm, the season, the time of the month, the people, everything else you're blaming, bar than taking the actual responsibility that's your thoughts, and you're allowing your thoughts, your mind, to take over your whole freaking business. This isn't about what she's doing down the road. It isn't about what she's doing on Insta or TikTok, or she's blown up, or she's making 20k and you're not. It's a game of you versus you. And at the moment, your mind is winning, and we need to get that back. So I will see you inside the DMs, and let's have a chat about joining Conscious Coach and rewiring your mind for freaking success. Let's fucking go.